Karthik here. This is my very first video on YouTube. Here I'm gonna show you some details about the margin and padding in CSS. So let me begin with the diagram representation. So the first diagram is the padding, which you can see a div inside the div. Padding is nothing but the distance between the inside and the outer div elements, and margin is nothing but the difference between two separate divs. So let me show you some simple definition. Margin is an element's personal space, that is how much distance the element wants to keep with other elements around it, whereas padding is how much an element is away from itself, say the distance an element wants to keep with the element inside it. Here is the key definition that you have to note down. Margin accommodates the gap by pushing adjacent elements away from it, while padding accommodates the gap by either growing its own size or by shrinking the size of the content inside it. But actually, what padding does is it will increase the size of itself. If you go for box sizing border box property, which can be linked with flexboxes, it will actually shrink the size of the content inside the element rather than expanding itself, say the parent element. Let me show you some real-time example. Here are the two set of codes. I have given a div whose class is a subdiv. You can see the green border box which is at the center. Without box sizing, you can see it actually, the paragraph, the hello how are you text is actually sits perfectly inside the subdiv class div. It's because it expands itself. Rather if you see the diagram which is given at the second part of the screen, we have mentioned the box sizing as border box. So it doesn't expand itself, rather than it shrinks the element which is present inside it. So you can see the overflow of the text. Here I have given the dimension. So the width is 100 px, the height is 100 px, the padding is 20. So if you give without border boxing property, everything gets added up, say 10 plus 20 plus 100 plus 20 plus 10, which is nearly 160. But the actual height which we are given is 100. If you want to stick on to the same height which you have given, you can use border boxing, where you can see the actual element is being shrinked to 40, but all the other properties, say border and padding, gets applied by shrinking the inner element. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. By using padding, if you don't want to touch the content to the edges of its container, you can use padding. Here we are using padding for two different divs so that the text inside it doesn't touch the edges of the div. You can even use, if you want to increase the size of an element, say button, you can use padding property. Margin, rather, if you want the two divs, here we have given an orange and a green divs. If you don't want these divs to be touching with each other, you can use the margin property. Here I have introduced another property which is margin auto, which actually pushes the element to the center horizontally. If you want to push the element vertically, you can use it through flexbox property, which I will show you at the end of this slideshow. Okay, let's go to the coding part. Yeah. Let's create a div with class, say div1. Let's create a child div with class, say subdiv. Let's add some text into it, say how are you. We will use another div as well. You can change class name. Yep, we are done with the HTML. Here you can't actually see those two divs visibly because we haven't given any border color to differentiate it from the background. Let's add some stylings to it. First we will bring those two divs to the center of the screen. So let's make the body as flex and to the center. Now you can see those two divs coming to the center. Now we will set some stylings to it. Say div1 width, say 300 pixel, height, say 300 pixel, border 10 px, which is the thickness of the border. You can give it as solid, you can give it as blue, and can give some background colors as well. Let it be brown. Now we actually want to bring it to the center. We are gonna use display property, which is center. Line item center. So first we will delete this second div because I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, so here we are using justify content as center to bring the div to the center of the screen horizontally. If you use align item center, it will make the div center vertically. Okay, now let's add some styling to the subdiv. Let's give the width as 60 pixel, height, let it be a square, we will give it the same, and we can give the padding property, say 20 pixel, and border, which is solid green. Sorry, made a small mistake. And let's add some background color. Actually, I'm gonna use some hex codes for color, which can give you more details. Yeah. So the inner div, we have made it to the center. I mean horizontally, not vertically, because I have made a small mistake here. It is actually align items. Now you can see the div actually sits at the center of the parent div. Okay. That's it, guys. See you on the next video. Till then, goodbye, take care, bye bye.